Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, we installed that Express and also we created that server, right? Now in this video, first of all, I want to create some of the APIs for add the task. Okay, so if you want to add this task here, we have to add that as an app, and then that will be one of the post method, right? So that is a task post. So I want to use that as a app task. That will be one of the task post, and our URL will be as a task. Okay, I may name it as a task. And then also we have to use one of the handler, that means a request handler. Into this request handler, it will be passed two of this parameter. One will be as a request, another will be as a response, which I have already discussed about that things with you. And then everything will be in here, right? So in particular, that position, as I told you before, into the request area, right? Into this request, it will be get some of the body, right? So that will be the request body. And if you also want to add some of the validation in here, you can add this validation with using that joy validation. Okay, so I hope I have already discussed about both of this with you. So better I want to create one of the fake API. I want to create it in our Postman. Now simply open your Postman first. So that is our Postman. Before I have created one of the collection as a REST API, now I want to create another new collection. And I just name this collection as a all in one. So this type of one of the name, and then I want to create this collection. I simply create this collection. So into this collection area, now I want to create one of the new request as a add request, and I just name it as a store. Okay, store new task. So this type of one of the request now I want to create. Now click as a save in all in one. Now new request is available as a store task. And first of all, that will be one of the post method. I make it as a post method, and our URL will be what? Our URL will be our local host. I have already named it. That will be as a local host actually. Okay, local host, and then our server port will be as a local host, and port will be as a 4040. Right? Now I want to add it. That will be in here as a local. Okay, that will be as a local host. And into this local host, and then that will be as a task. Okay, so the local host, our port will be as a 4040, and then that will be the task. So I have already added that name. Our route name will be in here as a /task. Okay, so that will be as a /task. So into this task area, I want to add some of the field. If you want to add it, then go to that body and go to that row, and that will be one of the JSON format data. I simply select it as a JSON. Okay, so JSON format data, if you want to add, then that will be our field name for the task. Our field name, if you go, our field name as a description, and is complete here, we don't need to add it because by default that will be added as a false. Okay, so now description field I want to add, so I simply open it, and here there is a description field, right? So here if you want to add it, then that will be into the double quotation into the description, because that is one of the JSON data. So into the description I want to add another value as a this is a new one description. Okay, description. I simply added that things in here. So now if you want to post it, we have to now work in here, right? We have to work in our index. So here we have to work. So if you want to work it, first of all, we have to create one of the middleware app, and then I want to create another middleware. If you want to create another middleware, then that will be the use, right? With this use here, I want to pass that our express. So that is our express, and express that will be the JSON data. So I simply loaded that JSON. Okay, make that sure you load this middleware. I have already discussed about that things with you. Simply here you have to load it, and now that is our total URL, right? Here we have to now work. So here we'll get one of the requested body, right? If you want to also check it, you can check it with the console log. Better for the first time I want to check it, and there is a console, and the console log area I want to display our requested, that is always a requested body, right? That is our requested body. I simply take it in particular that position, and also I want to create another new instance that will be constant. I simply loaded that constant, and into this constant I name it as a task. Okay, I name it as a task, and then I want to create a new instance for the task. I name it as a task, right? Here I want to pass that our requested body, so that will be the requested body. Okay, I simply pass it in here. So that will be in particular that position, all that our requested body, what exactly that things I have passed from here, it will be get all that data, that is our requested body. So now I pass it in our this instance as a task. Okay, So now if you also want to display the task, you can display it. Better I copy it and onto the console log. I'm actually display the into the console log area for your better references. Then you will be understand what exactly that requested body will get, what exactly the task now it will be executed, right? And after that I want to save it. So if you want to save it, that will be another asynchronous function. So if you use that as a asynchronize, also we have to use it as a asynchronize. Remember, I have already discussed about that things with you. So that will be as a asynchronize. I simply loaded this asynchronize, and if you now display it, that will be as a await. And await, I want to save this task because in our database I want to save it, right? So here with this await, I simply save this task. Okay friend, I hope every part is very much clear to you. Right now I want to do when that will be saved. If you want to return some of the status code, you can return it. That means that will be the return the response status, right? So the response status I want to pass it as a 201. Okay, 201 response code. I simply pass it, and that will be on the JSON format data. So I make it as JSON. Into the JSON area, now I want to display some of the message with the success. So I have already discussed about that things with you. Right now I don't want to repeat it, so that will be the true. Okay, success true. And here I want to pass that all that our data that I have already get every data from our postman. I take it with this variable here. I want to pass it. Okay, simple things. So now that will be when that will be saved successfully, it will be returned or this as status code as a 201, and that will be as a JSON format. So if you want to also add that a try catch, you can also add it. Better I show you here. I also want to add the try and then catch. So I make it as a try, and then also there is another one as a catch, right? So that will be as a try catch. I simply loaded this try catch, and here I want to pass that our error all that value. And now into this try area, here I want to simply take everything. I simply take everything from to this position. I cart it. Okay, I simply cart it, and now into this try area I paste it. And also into the catch area I want to display all that our message, right? All that our error message, now that should be displayed. So into the catch I want to return. So that will be the same process. My code is actually a little bit slow right now. So now there is a return that response that will be status. I want to use that status code for when that will be as an error. Then I want to get that our status code will be as a 400. Okay, and also into with the JSON format, I want to display this data. So there is a JSON format here. I want to display one of the message. Okay, one of the message as a success message, and then I want to make it or that will be as a false. Okay, success message false, and then our message and message will be which one? Message will be our this catch message, right? So I want to use it as E and then message. So now that should be display. Perfect. So that is our catch and that is our try. So that's all we have to do for add that task. Okay, I hope you already remember that part because we have already discussed about that things with you before. Now you can see we are using it in our project. So first of all, if you want to run it better, here I want to create one of the API, right? For the API, I want to do whatever the changes I will do, our terminal will be executed. So if you want to do that work, obviously we have to install one of the Nodemon package, right? But I want to install that Nodemon. So that will be as npm and then I as a Nodemon, and that is one of the dependency. I make it as a -d. Okay, I make it as a D. Now click as a enter. Our Nodemon successfully will be installed. It's now installing. It may take little time. Our Nodemon installed successfully, and now we have to go to our package. Into this package in our script area we have to work, right? So before I have used it as a server, only the server, and when that will be as a server, then which things will be executed? That means in our Nodemon, into the Nodemon index will be executed. And also if you want to add that another start key, you can use it. Like here I want to use it as a start. Okay, for the start, when that will be start, our node default index will be executed. You can actually add both of these, then that will be as a node. Okay, node index. Before I run it with the node index, remember. So if you make it as a start, then that will be run this one, or rather than if you want to make it as a server, then automatically whatever the things will be updated into the index, it will be executed with this Nodemon. Great. Now I want to run our server. Click as a save all, and now here I run as a npm run server, right? Click as a enter. Our nodemon should be executed. Yes, you can see it's now successfully executed. Great. And also you can see it's now display the database is connected, and also it's display as a server is running at port 404, right? Here I have already done this work in our index, into this index. So when that will be, you can see there is a 404, and this port I simply pass it in here. There is a server is running at port this port name. Okay, now I want to insert it from to the postman. So that is one of the data as a description. This is a new one description. There is a post method, that is our API URL. Now click as a send. Yes, you can see it's now successfully inserted as a success. Is now display as a true. Okay, and into the task, and there is a description. This is a new description is successfully added, and is complete. You can see by default actually is inserted as a false, because I have already made this field as a default value as a false. Okay, it's now great. And also that should be displayed in our terminal. You can see into the terminal that is also description is visible, and then is complete as a false. Is display this message because of all here. Here you can see that is our requested body, and this actually getted that our requested body this one, and also I pass that console log task into the console log, that is our console log task. Okay, so for your references I actually added both of these. Now I hope it's very much clear to you. Right now we don't need this. I want to make it as a clean. Okay, now that will be enough. So here friend, I have done it. I have done it for our which things I have done it for our task, right? So now we can actually do the same things for the user. Better I want to continue this process. In our next video I will insert the same things for the user. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.